Scott, you had the chief financial report. Why don't you review your cover memo so you could highlight the 4 key points, and then I think you had about 4 questions.
Yes. Okay, if we go to board book page 28 and just look at our monthly statement, if you look at the revenue side, we're collecting about $5 million in revenue. Big chunk of it is our real estate taxes that we're collecting, evidence-based funding from the state, and then fees that we collected for registration. On the expenditure side, as usual, salary and benefits is our largest. And then we had purchase service was pretty large because we paid the LADSI pre-bill in August. If we look at our financial statements, which are on board book page 27, that just highlights our fund balances after 2 months of this current year. On board book 28 is the revenue side. As far as the tracking percentage-wise, we're right on track with what I expected. We have kind of fluctuated a little bit with our tax collection and percentages. So trying to see where we're coming in here within the first 6 months is kind of key to see if those changes are going to be accurate. On board book page 29, on the expenditure side, if we look at the percentage for tracking, the only one that really stands out is the operations and maintenance one, and that's just a reminder that we did pay Airmark's full contract to get the discount on it, so the percentage does look higher on that. If we move on to the revenue expense report, there was one question submitted on board book page 42 in regards to certified salary under Title I. What happened here was an internal journal adjustment had to be made. The summer school Title I dollars were applied to the wrong account on it. If you were to look at board book page 44, you'll actually see the $13,331 was billed under summer school. So that was done to make sure that it matches what our Title I grant is to the Title I grant expenditures. Student activity reports are in your board book. Nothing out of the ordinary. There was one account in there that was about $100 in the negative. They were doing a fundraiser and got the money up front with it. It will be coming in with the proceeds on it, so that account will be back into the positives. And moving on to the last thing on my report is our electric and gas contracts will be expiring in June of 2019. I've been doing some research on where the rates are for electric and gas. They are at historical low rates out there compared to what we currently have. The cost-saving potential is basically taking what our current fixed rates are based off of what potentially you could lock in currently right now. You take that difference times our annual usage, and that's how the savings is calculated on that. I have solicited 4 different energy vendors out there to give me quotes. Quotes do fluctuate on a day-to-day basis, and they also fluctuate on rates and terms that you have out there as far as how long you want to spread out the contract. So if it's 12 months, 24, or 36. What I'm looking to try to do here is get this locked in and try to take advantage of the potential savings. The savings is only for 1 year because then your term is locked in if you spread it out further. But the difference from what we're currently paying to what you can lock in, there is a savings out there in both the electric and gas. The contracts will be forthcoming in October.
Scott, looking at this utility, is it worth doing it with the gas at only a $3,000 to $5,000 savings? Lock in something multi-year. I mean, obviously, if you could save $15,000 to $25,000, there's a little more incentive on electricity.
I mean, overall,
how many years are you talking about locking into?
Either 24 or 36.
Months.
Yes. Months. So 2 or 3. I know it is. I mean, it is savings. I can't predict what the weather's going to be. And as it fluctuates from year to year, it is lower than what we currently are locked in with our fixed rate. We'd have to use our current rate until in June, and then the new rate would kick in
It's a
in
fixed,
July.
they'll lock in the rate for 24 to 36, a fixed rate?
Yes, all in fixed.
And then what about the association we belong to for,
They're part of the quote
Okay.
that we have. I'm working with them to try to get the best deal. The rates fluctuate from day to day, and
Right.
they really are very minimal when you look at the different vendors. But there are some other options that are out there where you could potentially try to save some additional money with some programs that are
We
offered.
currently are in the Illinois Energy Consortium,
Yes.
and if we wanted to leave and purchase with an independent vendor, is there any type of exit tax or penalty or any kind of?
There is no penalty. We would just have to put in that we look to cancel. It's 90 days out.
Okay, so we need 90 days before June 30th.
Yes.
Okay, well, I think you should bring that proposal, considering we have a board member that works for a utility company that can help us review that.
Okay.
So I think it's worth looking at, for sure. Does the board have any other questions? Okay, Tim? Move on.
oh, I gotta move on, okay.
Visitors?
Since there are no visitors, we'll skip over the visitor statements. That brings us to
Bob, do you want an opportunity to speak? Have any visitor? Okay. Just wanted to make
discussion
sure.
information items. Does anybody have any, on my right, any items they want to add?
No.
On my left? Okay, so that brings us to police department radios.
No update at this time.